Today we are going to start nested loops in assembly, and nested loop means loop within another loop. Okay, so we will be seeing the structure, you can say the syntax of the nested loops as well as one example. So firstly we need to know that how the nested loop actually works, right, before going to its syntax. So it's very simple. The very basic thing is that ECX register is going to be used for both outer loop as well as for the inner loop. We know already from the last lecture that the value for the loop gets stored only in the ECX register, which means that ECX is also known as the looping index or looping register, right? We cannot store the looping you can say value into some another register. Just ECX is used for this purpose. So it doesn't matter whether it is inner loop, outer loop, nested loop, simple loops, we have to use only the ECX register. So if we are using the same register for inner and outer both the loops, then before going toward the inner loop or getting the value into the EX register for the inner loop, we have to preserve the value for the outer loop, of course, because we are going to store the looping value into the same register. It means if there is already some value into the ESX register, I'm again going to move the value into the ESX register. It means the previous value is going to be replaced, of course. So for that purpose, the outer loop value should be preserved in some other variable before entering the inner loop. We will store the value of the ESX register for the outer loop in some other variable. I'm saying variable, not register, or you can also do in register, but I'm basically discussing that how you can preserve the previous value before going into the inner loop. And when we go into the inner loop, we know that it must again go back to the outer loop. So again we have to move that looping variable value into the ECX register again before going to the outer loop. And so basically what I'm saying, you will understand it better through the help of example. Here it's you can see its structure here. So firstly in ECX register I'm moving my outer loop value. Suppose I have the value 3, so I'm moving 3 into my ECX, which means that my outer loop is going to work 3 times. Okay, here you can have some code, whatever operations you want to perform on your code. And then what I'm doing, count is my some variable which you can assume that I have declared. I'm moving that ECX value, that is the outer loop value, into the count. Why I'm doing this? Because in the very next step you can see that I'm taking or I'm moving another value, that is inner loop value, suppose it is 2, into ECX. Before it was 3 in ECX and now it's 2 in ECX. If I don't perform this specific step, it means that my previous ECX value has gone away. I cannot get that value back, right? But in case of loops, we already know how loops work by the high level languages, that once the outer loop executes, then inner loop completes its all the iterations, then it go back to the outer loop, right? So for that purpose we must have the value of the outer loop preserved. So I'm moving that outer loop value into some other variable. Okay, and next I'm you can say the moving the value of the inner loop into the ECX register for my inner loop, and here my inner loop will start right after moving the value in ECX. That's, we are discussing the basic structure. This is the structure. Only here you can add your code, here you can add your code, but these values, they must be added in the same step, same sequence. Okay, like in the inner loop, here we will start our inner loop. Whatever label you can give, this is just label like a variable name, and it finishes with a colon like this. This is also my label, this is also my label. So inside my loop, what I'm doing here, you can write some code, whatever you are going to perform, and then I'm sending the control again to this, to which label? To this inner loop label. Means I'm again sending the control to this label again. Means these two statements are again going to execute, right? So it will complete its execution how many times? till the number of ECX, whatever you have moved the value into the ECX register. Suppose I have entered 2. Now ECX contains 2, it will execute one time, then it will execute second time, right? And we know from the simple loop lecture that ECX value gets auto decremented. So once we move 2 in it, then it will become 1, then it will become 0, and this loop will stop automatically when the ECX becomes 0, right? So it means that you saw there that my outer loop worked only once. We didn't send control again to the outer loop, like I am sending the control to the inner loop again. How this is working, you can say I'm executing my outer loop only once, then I enter my inner loop, completed all the execution supposed 2 times, and then after executing my all the inner loops, that is it completes all its iteration. In a very next step, I am again sending that count value into the ECX. Why? Because if I want my outer loop to work again, to go back there, then I must have the looping value only in the ECX register. So I must have to put back the value of the you can say the outer loop value into the ECX register, otherwise your loop will not work. Okay, and after moving this value, I will send the control to outer loop. If I don't use this line, my outer loop will not work. Okay, so after this specific statement, the control will again send go over there. All these lines will execute only once, then again I am entering my inner loop. You will see you are seeing here, right? That is, you can see from this procedure that for each outer loop value, my inner loop will complete all its iterations, right? Like it will execute only once, then all this inner loop will complete all its iterations. Suppose I have entered 3 over there, so it will execute 3 times. It will then go back to the outer loop, it will execute only 1, then again it will execute 3 times, then again like this. It depends upon whatever you have moved into the ECX, that is the outer loop. So this is how the basic, you can say, the nested loops work. So I hope you have already gotten it, but I have written one example for you. It will make it easy to understand. So here is the example of nested loop, and this is basically, this acts like a comment, right? This is a directive. Okay, so inside my code, what I am doing, it is my data part, for variables, declarations, etc. I am having one variable of type byte. I am moving hello in it. In another variable I am moving world. And what is this? This is basically my, you can say, carriage return line field, that is to move the text into the next line. Okay, inside my main procedure, I am setting my outer loop value. We know that before starting our loop, we have to set the values of the loop. So my outer loop value is 5. Okay, then I'm entering the loop. This is my label value, name. It can be any name, whatever you wish, and it must not be reserved words. Okay, we have discussed it. So here I'm moving the offset of prompt and ADX, then this next line procedure, it will just move the text to the next line, and in call write string, this hello will execute once only, because we are at the very first time we are executing this loop for the very first time. Hello will print only once. And next, what I'm doing, I know that this is my nested loop. I have to go inside the inner loop. So before going over there, I'm having some count variable, and I'm moving the ECX value into the count variable, right, just to preserve my outer loop value. And next I'm sending 3 to ECX, because this is how many times my inner loop is going to execute. It is 3 times. So here my inner loop starts from here. Here what I'm doing, I'm sending the value now. I'm sending the variable, that is string, that is world, offset into the EDX. I'm printing the world, and what I'm doing, I'm again sending the control to this loop. It means that how many times this loop is going to execute? 3 times. and we know E6 decrements automatically, so after 3 times these instructions will stop executing and my control will automatically go over the next line, and the next line says that move the count value into the ECX. What is my count value? You know, we have stored the outer loop value into the count, so again we have to put back that value into the ECX. Why? Because I want my outer loop to work again. How many times? We know that it will execute 5 times, so for that I have to send the value into the ECX register again. Whatever the value was, it will be preserved again into the ECX register, and then I'm sending the control to the loop 1, that is this outer loop, because we know that it has run already one time. So now we know that our E6 decrements automatically. It means now E6 become 4. This will execute, then this will execute 3 times. It will again go over there. It will E6 becomes here 3. It will execute once. It will execute 3 times. Again it will go over there. It becomes 2, and like this. Okay, for each E6 value, each outer loop value, inner loop will execute this many times, that is 3 times. Okay, so we can see on this screen as well that how the loops how this loop is working. So here you can see that firstly this hello executes like here, right, and then for each, you can say for each hello the world is executing 3 times. This is what we have discussed, that for each outer loop the inner loop will execute 3 times. Okay, so this is the example of, this is the, you can say the proof of this thing, that how this outer loop basically works. So I hope you got it, and it's not a very difficult topic, so I hope you can understand. So that's it for today. Thank you.